Very simple design. It actually looks like a router that was made like a decade ago. So you're not going to win much design awards here, but they're keeping the cost down, and that's what's the most important for this. But it does have 4 antennas, and it can be rotated in any which way you need to. So just play around with different configurations until you find something that just works well for you. And at the back, you're getting a power switch, which I do find to be useful because usually when I'm resetting my router, I'm unplugging the cable and plugging it back in, which is much less convenient, so that's really nice to have. But more importantly is it has 5 Ethernet ports. 4 of them are 2.5 gigabits per second, and 1 of them is actually 10 gigabits per second, which is not something I really see at this price point. And it's tri-band, which means it has 3 bands. One 2.4 gigahertz band, a 5, and then also a 6 gigahertz band. So it covers all the bands used in Wi-Fi 7. And because of that, it also supports MLO, which once your device is supported, it can send data using all 3 frequency bands simultaneously. And a lot of products in 2025 support Wi-Fi 7 and MLO. And back to the build, this has a lot of ventilation, and that's because this has a 2 gigahertz quad-core processor, and it's always running to make sure everything is being routed correctly on this device. And I think that's where this shines the most compared to a lot of the other systems that I've checked out. I don't know if it's specifically because of the quad-core processor, but I've used Amazon's Eero for almost a decade, and I've had a multitude of issues with that system, especially with laptops and desktops that use certain MediaTek chips. Sometimes it just won't even connect, or it'll disconnect randomly. It's just super unreliable. But I haven't had any issues with any of the Asus systems that I've been checking out so far, so that's really nice to have. And I also have an old LG B6 OLED TV, which came out back in 2016. And ever since I got the Eero, the Wi-Fi on that TV just never worked again. I just figured it was an old TV and maybe the Wi-Fi card got fried. But the moment I switched out of Eero, I ended up switching to some other systems, and the Wi-Fi just started working on that. And thankfully on the Asus routers, it's working again on that. So there's a lot of aspects about a router that a lot of reviewers don't cover, or maybe just because they're testing it, they're not living with it the way I did with these systems. So I think that's really important when you're considering a router, because it's supposed to work in the background. The only time you really ever notice a router is when something goes wrong.